The average Iowan sitting out there is thinking, when do I have some assurance my water is clean? Mr. Baltimore, you represent, you reflect the Republican view here.
Right.
When are we going to get serious in the state about trying to do something that means something?
Sure. I think this is a serious piece of legislation. And part of this is we need to make sure that we're doing things the right way. There is still substantial disagreement about what exactly our problems are in this state, and within each of the individual, I think there's 1,600 Huck 12 watersheds in the state. Each watershed is different. Each has its own separate water quality problem, if you will. So it's a challenge to sit here and say universally this is one problem that we have throughout the entire state, and the solutions are equally as diverse. So this bill will put forth the structure to finance those collaborative projects between urban and rural areas within a watershed to allow them to get funding, define their own problem, figure out how to solve their own problem, and at the same time do so in a very cost-effective manner.
Representative Hall, I'm struck covering meetings at which this bill is discussed that there seems to be less ferocity in opposition to it than legislation that was considered last year. Why is that?
Well, again, as I mentioned earlier, water quality is something that you see legislators on both sides of the aisle agreeing. We need to discuss this. It's a serious issue for the state, both in terms of drinking water, but also in terms of recreation and what happens downstream from Iowa. Democrats really believe that we need to talk about this, and I think the proposal that Representative Baltimore is working on is a very creative approach to it. If I had to offer a critique of the bill, though, I think the issue is that it is not nearly robust enough. Right now, there are over $1 billion of identified projects that would need to occur in order to correct Iowa's impaired waterways. Over $1 billion that have been identified. And the robustness of funding that this bill would provide falls very short of addressing those things. It takes over a decade to build up enough resources to really make a dent in it. And a decade from now, we're going to be even deeper in trouble than we are at the present.